The prediction is that unfortunately, they're only gonna get heightened and whatever. That's what the prediction is. So what are you gonna do? You just have to be prepared, and you've got to put your money out, and you've just got to get yourself in a position to equip yourself to do what you need to do. And us being native Floridians, and it could be, like I said, it could be a winter storm. It could be one of those rolling power outages that you have. You know, and those of us that are impacted by the hurricanes, it's kind of this sit and wait thing too. It's like, do I leave? They're saying it's a category 1. They're saying it's a tropical storm. Do I stay? Do I leave? Do I hunker down? You guys know what I'm talking about. Do I just hunker down in my house? I don't want to leave. And sometimes, you know, I come from a family with a lot of money. So, and I know a lot of times a hurricane hits, you might be broke. You're like, I can't afford to get on the road and travel, right? Because it's expensive. You got to get a hotel, you got to get gas. So a lot of times you make the decision, I'm gonna stay in my house. I'm just gonna hunker down and I'm gonna stay in my house. And I'm just gonna pray to the dear Lord that this category 1 is a mild storm and it doesn't come my way. You're kind of tracking it like everybody else, right? If nothing else, you have this, even if you decide that you're gonna hunker down, and it's great that it can power, you know, most of your appliances, I think up to this one, up to 80% of your appliances. But if nothing else, at least have this so that you can call your loved ones, so that you can let your loved ones know that you're okay. Because they're gonna be worried about you. I will tell you that. They're gonna be worried about you, right? And so at least have that ability. I'll never forget, and I think a lot of us have those images of Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana. Remember those poor people? They had to go through their attics, and they were like on the rooftops. Do you remember that?
Yep.
How traumatic that was? And when I saw this model that has the light in the front.
That little SOS flashlight?
That SOS light. And those poor people, remember, and I thought, oh my gosh, if you needed to do that to let somebody know that you needed to be rescued somehow.
Yep.
Like that, this model is a good model for that. You know what I mean? Or if you're a boater and you're on a boat somehow and you needed help, that SOS light, or if you're a hunter or you're out, you know, out somewhere. Like, I like that light that's built into it. This is the first time that I've seen the Ecoflow with that SOS light built into it, and it just kind of made me think about that. I'm like, that's a nice feature to have built into it.
Well, it is. I mean, because we don't typically ever see that with a lot of our power stations.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's really only in our river line do we have that flashlight. Light also, not just being the light that's built in, but the lightweight aspect of it.
Because you never know.
Well, because it's the portability. And we have to stress portability when it comes to our river line, because that's really, you know, when we start to talk about differences, it's still gonna power 80% of your home appliances, yet it weighs less than 20 pounds, and you can take it on the boat. You can take it on the RV. You can take it in the pickup truck to go tailgating. You can literally pick it up. This is something that you won't see us do with any of our larger power stations. So it's manageable power, but it means for you that it's still that portable power. And when we start talking about portable power, it also means that you get to stretch your dollar and how you get to use your investment like this. Because if you thought, well, you know what, are we going to invest in a gas generator, propane generator?
I'm going to interrupt you for a moment, because you just turned it on.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to know at home that that's how you turned it on.
That's it.
And I didn't want you to just miss that. You just press the button. And it made me think about how many of you at home have parents or grandparents that live in areas that are impacted by the hurricane. A lot of you have parents that live here in Florida, right? That are older, that live alone, that don't have a solution for power. And maybe you live in other areas of the country. Get this for them and send this to them, because they may not have a solution for power, right?
Yeah. And really, that's what this is. It is a solution. That's why we always talk about the alternatives of gas and propane. Look, this isn't going to replace a full home generator. That's not what it's meant for. But it is meant to give you an option, and that's what life should be about. It should be about having alternatives and options. This has not existed until Ecoflow launched, and we were starting to actually give those type of options and alternatives. It's always been gas and propane, which means for all of you, like you, Marla, who feel like, you know what, I don't want a gas generator. It's just not something that I feel like I can handle. It's not something I feel like I can deal with. If I live in an apartment or condo, I can't own one either way. So what am I going to do? Well, now you're sitting there at the mercy of the power company getting the power back on. That's not a good feeling, to feel like you gotta depend on them. when they're trying to get thousands and thousands and thousands of other people's homes and power back up. You want to feel like in that type of situation, I can handle it. I can sit there, look, 16 to 17 hours with a light and a fan, and it's telling me right there in real time. We're not going to just put up a graphic. My light and my fan plugged in. You talked about it. What do you need plugged in right now?
Yes.
What could make you feel like you're